And if it is decided that way, then yes, they can fast based on this, even if it does not agree with the standing of on the plain of Arafat by the pilgrims, even if it falls on a different date. Okay, so I hope this will be clear. As long as you're doing this, fine. My preference, however, what I advise people to do, including the scholars, but they said they saw the crescent through some witnesses. I don't know if that has been true. How could it be different? It is possible that it would be different in different countries. That's basically the idea. And as I said, this is a long tradition and a long dispute in the Islamic jurisprudence or fiqh through centuries. And that's why they still have that choice if they verify it and base it on that. I got an email from Nigeria from my brother there, Olayan Matu from Kano, Nigeria, talking about the same thing. Why is it different in Nigeria than it is in Saudi Arabia, and why is the day Eid al-Kabir, as he said, the big Eid falling on a different date in some other parts of the world? As we explained many a times, that's why I called in the beginning of this program. I still emphasize that there is an important step that needs to be taken, which is to unite the date of having the day of Arafah. Look, the 9th is called the day of Arafah. The 9th is the day of Arafah, and the day of Arafah is when the pilgrims are physically on the plain of Arafat. And this year it will be Sunday, the 7th of December. That's why it's so important, significant. I will not dig so much on this issue since we covered it so many times, but this is the way, Brother Ulayyan, and I'm sorry that talking about the difference in sighting the moon in between countries or within the same country. That is a problem, and I know that the authorities in each country have to settle this, at least within each country. Like in Nigeria, I know Nigeria is a very vast country where the Muslims, especially in the north, a concentration of Muslims, but also there are Muslims in Ibadan, in Lagos, and some other places. You need to unite the sighting for the whole country and not divide the country. That is creating a lot of confusion in the minds of people. And that's why Sister Maymuna is calling, and I have been calling this and urging the scholars and authorities in these countries to go ahead and at least in one country unite. And if we can unite, particularly in Eid al-Kabir, in Eid al-Adha, if we can be with Saudi Arabia, I think that would be much, much better, and we would be saving Muslims a lot of confusion in every country. But still, they have the right, according to the Islamic jurisprudence or fiqh, if they sight the moon in their own country, that it might fall on a different date than what takes place in Mecca during the Arafah day and the Eid day. What should we do? However, we would love to be united all together, especially at this modern age of technology and communications, where we can verify, as soon as we sight the crescent here in this country, the whole world will know about it in no time. That's the answer to that. Now, Ismat, talking about whether we need to fast on the day of Arafah, 2 days or 1 day. No, it's only 1 day. Arafah is only 1 day. Now, I think people are a bit confused because they confuse this with the 10th of Muharram. Now, for the 10th of Muharram, it's a sunnah that you fast with it the 9th of Muharram or the 11th or both. You can do 9, 10, 11 of Muharram. This is called Ashura, Tasu'a, Ashura, and the 11th. Or you can do only 2 days, either the 9th and the 10th, or the 10th and the 11th. So you have the 3 choices. Or you can do only the 10th of Muharram, and that would be it. But the sunnah is to do 2 days or 3 days altogether. But unlike Arafah, Arafah stands by itself. However, it's recommended that we fast all the 9 days of the Hijjah, if you are able to. It has a virtue and a good deed, alhamdulillah, and this is part of al-amal al-salih. There is nothing special about this except that al-amal al-salih, and we have to remember that fasting 1 day in the path of Allah, meaning for the pleasure of Allah, is going to keep us a distance of 70 years from hellfire. And this hadith says, "Man sama yawman fi sabilillah, ba'ad Allahu bihi baynahu wa bayna an-nari 70 kharifan," meaning 70 years. So there's a great virtue, and especially if you're making it in the 9 days of the Hijjah. So that is very
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. I'd like to welcome you all to this new episode of Q&A from Mina, here in this beautiful place, the place of the first step in Hajj. As you know, the pilgrims are already in Mina on this day of Tarwiyah, the 8th day of the Hijjah, and tonight they will be spending the night here, but tomorrow morning they'll be moving on to Arafah. That's the peak of the Hajj. That is the 9th day of the Hijjah. And as the cameras have given you the transmission and the live pictures of everyone settling, enjoying themselves, alhamdulillah. And I'd like to welcome you and to answer any question on your mind. Obviously, you're so much welcome to raise your concerns, to clear your doubts. I'm sorry that my voice may not be the best today, but we will manage, inshallah, to be together until the 9 o'clock newscast. Now, of course, there are phone numbers that will be given to you, as you can see, and if you have the numbers, they should appear. But I do have lots of emails I'd like to share with you. First, I received an email from Muhammad Yassin from Qatar, and Muhammad Yassin asked, how would the people in India fast the day of Arafah? Well, as I explained last night and the nights before, obviously we want to be with you, and we want to be all together fasting the same day. However, if the sighting, the moon sighting in your own particular country has been verified by Islamic authorities, and they have set up committees and Islamic judges and muftis and authorities who actually receive and verify the testimonies for faith, then obviously you are so much welcome to obviously go ahead and fast the day of Arafah according to the sighting in your own particular country. And I did verify this with some scholars today, and they came up with exactly the same thing that we were talking about. So I'd like to know that this is the idea, this is what we would like to affirm. Although, as I said, we need to be together, we need to be with the pilgrims, fasting on the same date. But in case there's some problem there, then we shall be accepting this and moving on, as this is quite acceptable in the Islamic jurisprudence. Ibrahim Uthman, Ibrahim talked about